Hello, everyone. Welcome to Girafa podcast show. Today we have a Pedro who's working in MI6. Maybe people they're so wondering, okay, how we found someone from the MI6, and very proudly say I'm working for the pro. So and he's a boss in the MI6. So this is a big, it's a big honor for the Girafa show to have one of the boss in the MI6. So can you explain about the MI6?
We were watching Girafa even before it happened. We were monitoring you.
Thank you so much. So we were so happy that we passed the test.
Yes, our friends from the NSA talked us about. So MI6 is my marketing, communication, and design agency. We are based in Portugal, but we operate also in Angola and in Brazil. And mainly we do marketing strategy for brands. We do digital strategy too, and our main values are like inclusion, diversity, and sustainability. We try to implement these in every project that we have, and that's MI6. I could say more, but I would have to kill you, so I want for your own good.
That's good. That's good. I still have goals in my life. I still have a goal. I want to keep going. Thank you so much. So we were talking about the different type of the party when we are going to the Eastern and the Western Europe. Yo, is it okay? Is it correct?
I believe that the differences are more from Northern Europe and
Northern
South
Europe? Okay, yeah, it's much
So for
better.
me, Scandinavia, it's Northern, like when you go from France to the top, like Dutch, Scandinavia, Sweden, Finland, Norway. That's when the real cultural shock happens because everything is so well organized, and here it's all chaos. We're talking about that, like we're talking how loud we are here in the Latin countries. We are very loud. Like I told you, I had this girl came to me to some friends saying, "Why are you fighting? You should stop fighting." I said, "We're not fighting. They're my best friends. We're just talking, but we are so loud, and our hands are like that. They're all touching each other. Like everybody tells a joke, the other one cracks. Like, oh,
Yeah,
oh my god!"
exactly. So warrior. Yeah, as much as we are.
It looks like we are wrestling, but we're not. We just don't have boundaries, and we touch a lot, and we smile a lot,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
we
And
shout a lot.
as much as we are love each other more, we are gonna talk louder. So
Yeah.
even when we are not
The more
close,
the
even
more
when
confidence you have with the people, the louder you are, and the touchier you are, and the grabber you are.
yeah, exactly. Oh, and if when we are in the street, even we are not close, hey, but the Scandinavian maybe they're gonna so close to each other and start to talk. So it's look like when the Scandinavian party, when you go to the party, it's gonna, as you said, that it's look like when you're going to the library, it's gonna be more noisy. It's a party.
Yeah, I've been in funerals with more noise, and and thing there is interesting too is like whenever I make a trip. If I see another Portuguese, oh man, it's like, oh my, it's like he's the brother that I never met. I remember this time I was in Israel, I guess, and we were a group, and some other group passed by us, and they weren't even Portuguese, they were Brazilian, but it's the same language. So he's like, oh my god, so like, oh my god, it was just such a party, like, oh my, just because we have the language in common.
And
So it was
even
like,
when it is the first time you are met,
of course, it's
it
the first.
doesn't
They
matter.
were they weren't even Portuguese; they were just Brazilian. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, oh my god, we have something in common. Let's hug each other. And
So we are just looking. That's culture. They're just looking for some excuse to be more happy, maybe.
yes, yes, we celebrate everything, and we celebrate everything loudly and effusive in an effusive way.
Okay,
That's
good.
that's the way. And I think it's kind of different in the northern countries. They're like more reserved people, more calm, more organized. It's good. Maybe it's better in some parts of the society to be like this, because like here is mayhem and chaos. But when he's talking about party and it's better to be like us, I believe.
Mm, interesting. So you had a trip with the caravan with a different countries, and most of them they were in Europe. So, which country is going to be more interesting for you during that trip?
So when I was 16, me and my parents we took a caravan and we ride it from Portugal to Norway to see the fjords. We passed by Spain, France, uh, the Netherlands, Sweden, and Norway. I don't think I'm forgetting no country where we actually
Yeah,
stayed,
yeah.
of course. Um, the most interesting because I already had gone to right to the southern country. The most interesting for me was the upper. It was my first time in the Netherlands. I loved Amsterdam. I love the culture. I love the mixing pot that Amsterdam is, and how free you feel in Amsterdam. It was my first time there. And then I love the landscape of the northern countries because for us it's really rare. I loved Sweden. I loved how welcoming people were in Sweden
Hmm.
to me, especially women. It was really comforting. I loved Norway. I love the fjords, of course. We went to Bergen. It's a small. I did not went to Oslo, but I went to Bergen. It's a small city, like a fishing city. Um, so over there, everything the landscape. Everything is so different. I loved it there. I'm not used to water with that temperature. It was crazy. It was like a challenge from my father. You don't have the guts, and he said, "Of course I have. I didn't even put a finger on it. It's just poof, I just typed, and then it's freezing. It's like we're so stupid. I'm
Yeah,
dying here. Yeah, because in Portugal the other can go like for 15 degrees,
you
and
never seen
then
that kind of the weather in your country. It's
yeah.
so
So
new.
so I was not prepared for that. I was not prepared for that.
It's so normal. It's so normal. But it's part of the culture, especially um, after the sauna. After sauna, they're
Mhm.
jumping to the ice water, and they
Mhm.
some articles shows it's so healthy. You're gonna be naked in that kind of the temperature. So and they have a competition. They have some competition about being in the sauna and being in the frozen ice, frozen water. So well, that's just very shocking. Yeah, I know it's weird.
Yeah. I almost died, so I don't want to commend it to anybody because when I landed in the water, I just felt, oh my god, I'm in hypothermia. Like I'm that's it, that's it. It's my goodbye.
Yeah, I remember it was the first summer for me in Finland. So we went to the sea, and my friend said, "Hey, let's go and swim." I said, "Okay, let's go." And so he started swimming, and I said, "It was so okay. He's swimming, so it's gonna be okay." So as much as I jumped, oh my god, it's so cold. No, start swimming, swimming fast, swimming fast. You're gonna be warm. And I say, "Okay, let's just try to move." And but right now it's a part of the culture, so yeah, it is
Okay.
so nice. Uh, I'm gonna ask you about the trip you have with the caravan, but because you were 16, maybe you don't have that much you didn't have that much responsibility for doing stuff. But later you have yourself. You had the same trip when you were older.
Uh,
Yes.
not the same. I had this car trip for around Italy. I came with my girlfriend at the time, and we arrived in Milan. We rented this cinquecento,
Okay, no,
a
no,
real
no. Stop,
small
stop, stop.
Fiat.
I
Oh,
don't
okay,
want to
okay,
open that page because
okay, okay,
I
okay.
just want to be sure that so you only have one time with the caravan trip with your
The
parent
caravan, yeah, and all the caravan trips were with my parents. We
and the
did that
trip.
one, that was big. I did another one to Austria, to Vienna. That was also big, also a month. And that we stopped
So
in Italy many
both the
times.
you were teenager, you were young.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay,
Both of us young.
okay, and you said that unfortunately it was your last trip with your father because after that he's passed away, and I'm so
Yes, the one to Norway was relevant also because of that. Like it was our last big trip with my father
yeah.
to life because we used to do journeys a lot with a caravan all around Europe, of course.
Mhm.
Some bigger, some smaller, but it was our last big trip. My father, so it's very. It's
Mhm.
very emotional for me when I think about it.
I
He
hope.
drove for like a month. He was so tired in the end of it because when you drive for like a month and it's a caravan, it's a truck, it's not a small vehicle, so it
Okay,
was really
so
tiring.
that's maybe you can help the people they want to do that, because we had another guest who he had a trip in the same situation with the caravan. What was more challenging do stuff for someone's using the caravan? What was the most challenging?
I think the most challenging thing, first back then there were no GPS. You have to understand this. It's easy for us now, but back then there were no GPS. So
Right
he
now, but
was
they have a
driving,
GPS,
and
because he said that right now, because he had a trip recently, so maybe
okay, okay.
it
So, but
was
that
more
that was
modern.
the first challenge. Like, okay, so it was me and my mother with a map. Like, no,
Oh.
that's Michelin map. I think we should live here. And that's, when it's in a foreign country, it's like 1,000 errors, 1,000 errors. Everybody argues that we are Latino, so we argue for every. "Ah, it was not here. It's the same thing of the parties, but this time in the argue. Ah, it was your fault. No, it was yours. Everybody's loud, and it's a caravan. So sometimes
Yeah.
you just can't look. You just can't look to the person that's next to you, and that can become tense because it's 1 month of three people living and sleeping and driving in the same car. Because after all, it's a car with a house. But
Yeah.
that might be challenging too. The other thing is the tiredness of the driver, because we never changed. I wasn't old enough to drive.
Ah, so
My
you
mother
only had
said
one driver.
yeah, yeah, we only
Mm.
had one driver. So he was driving for a month every day a caravan,
Yeah,
so it,
yeah.
it was really tiring. It was really tiring, and that's another thing that's challenging. But beside that, I really advocate in the name of it. I would love to do that with my family someday. I had some of my best memories are with my parents in caravanning, because the caravan gives you the freedom, like, oh, I like this landscape, let's stop, let's eat here.
Uh-huh.
and that's
Yes.
and that's freedom that you cannot buy. I mean, you cannot buy, because you can you can buy a caravan, it's a heavy price. But it's really like, you do your own chart. You do, like, say, I'll stop here and we'll stop here. Let's sleep, let's sit, let's do whatever, because home is in the back, or like a snail, and that's
Mm,
something that's really unique.
okay. So, but that's a big car. It's not like that you can go whenever you want. It's going to be some specific place to parking and to stay. Yes. You
Yes,
had
yes.
this.
Well, you can do wild tourist, like it's in some countries it's illegal, but you put a blind eye. The thing is, if you have designated parks, and it's safer to stay in the designated parks, of course. But even to approach, or to stay just for some hours, you can do that, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So what about the? It's not going to be boring for 24 hours for 1 month. You get visiting or stay time for some two or three people all the day.
It's, yeah, it's going to be boring and challenging, because because we're not used to it. It's like, oh my god, we're in prison together, because it's the same people, the same routine, the same. Of course, the landscape will change. You will go to dinner, and you see countries and culture that
Uh
you're
huh.
not used to. So there's the amazing part. But yeah, it's challenging,
Yeah,
and,
I can.
and it's tiring. It's tiring. It's not
I
like, okay, now we're in the plane, we landed, it's okay. We had no responsibility. No, no, this is on us. We have to stop every X hours to put gas. We have to stop we have to do our own meals. It's tiring in that way, because it's like it's your life every day. Every day you have to cook a meal. Every day you have to
yeah.
clean the toilets, and it's tiring.
Yeah, just imagine if I'm gonna be fighting. Okay, I can go out. I will just say, okay, this is just 2 hour or 3 hour trip. After that, it's gonna be finished. So I just need to. But right now, okay, I cannot do anything. And the maximum
Yeah.
thing I can go to the end of the car when I cannot see them. So it's gonna be. It's
It's
super.
not big enough. Okay, I'm tired of you. I'm
I'm
going
going to
to.
the.
That's
I'm
that.
going
That's that.
back.
It's not.
But it's still I can hear you. Yeah, I know.
It's challenging that way. It's challenging that
So
way.
the first thing maybe it should be some to find someone just for privacy and going to be alone even when you are tripping with someone. So as a teenager, what was the most interesting thing happened to you, or is still right now when you're thinking it's very nice or unique for you? Happen, place, I don't know, even anything.
As a teenager, I already told you the reception that the Swedish women has done for me. It was really something I was not accustomed in Portugal. I don't know if black community there at the time was not was they didn't have many, but it was so intense that even my mother commented that with me. So it's like the women here, they really smile for you. Yeah, yeah, they do, mom. And so as a sweet 16 as I was, it was really interesting that in that phenomenon. But I always like to know people and to know different culture. It was the first time I went to Northern Europe, and I really appreciate it there. I really the culture, how everything was so organized, how everything was so
Mm,
uh, in its own place and clean, and it was really different from the Europe that I know of. This is Southern Europe. It was really like, wow, this really works.
yeah.
Because in school, so they're always the first ones in the statistics, and then you go, wow, they really are. And
But
it's
let
interesting. And I was telling like my father driving as a mad Portuguese, and I started to be conscious about something that we do that for here it's normal, and then I see like all the cars are lined, and my father Fast and Furiousing everybody. Take it easy, Don Toretto. It was the first time you get subconscious about. We shouldn't
with the
be like
caravan, it's not a small pack car, it's
yeah,
a
yeah,
big.
yeah, yeah. Even worse for that. Even worse for that. Like he's
uh,
Don Toretting. I'm like, what are you
okay.
doing, man?
Yeah, I know,
You
I
get
know.
subconscious about. We shouldn't be like that. We have to learn with them. It's
Yeah, it's so
not okay.
it's so different. Sometimes you're driving, you can find out because yeah, they are so they try to keep the line. Uh,
Yeah, and that's I think the main benefits of every trip is like when you compare your culture to others, and you understand the lows and the highs of everything in the same. It gives you world literally like whoa, I never thought about this, and now that I'm confronted with a different,
yeah,
we shouldn't be doing what we're doing, like it's in the good, like why are we like this?
yeah.
Why is he like this?
There is a different way. Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There is a difference. So we don't have to kill each other in the streets. Okay, I'll write it down so not to forget.
uh, let me tell you one memory when I came. The first memory when I came in Finland. Um, I don't know you heard that this is the sixth time that Finland is nominated as the happiest country. I don't want to argue with that one because if still they believe that this is not true. But it was the first month I came to Finland. First month, Finland they're so peaceful, they're so nice, and try to just respect your privacy. It was the first month I came. I was walking, and it was the first time I was walking in the city. I never forget that someone killed someone else in front of my eyes, and because I thought it cannot be real, this is a Finland. I was looking for the hidden cam, so I was looking around. Oh, this is a hidden camera, so they got just some kind of the crap. So and they found out no,
But
this
it was an actual murder.
yeah, it was real.
My God. I was not expecting this story
when
to
I
go like this.
yeah, that's the point because I was shocking. I was okay, where's the camera? When is the camera? But it was an old man, so he passed away. So, oh no, this is a real blood, so I should call the ambulance. So when I called the ambulance and they came and I was standing there, so I talked with my friend and he said because he was living around 20 years old here. He said, "Really?" I said, "I'm living in the country around 15 or 20 years, so it's something like this never ever happened for me, and you just came." So
It's you. You're the curse.
exactly, he
Gotta
said
go
that.
back. Go
Yeah, it
back
is.
to your
You are doing something bad here because right now I've never heard something like this, but it's happened for me. So this is a kind of the shock I have when I came to the peaceful country in so most peaceful country. Okay, so yeah, it's
but
sometimes the
it's crazy the definition of the most happy country. Because when you go to the countries of the south, like South America and Africa, and then the people are really happy that they have half of what they have here in the north, but they are happier. So the definition of happiest country it's based on what? I believe, of course, everybody would choose to live in Finland, but there, because of the conditions that the people have, I understand that country with best conditions. Totally, I totally get it. But happiest is like a little bit too subjective, I guess.
yeah,
Uh,
this it is the I don't know why they're doing that, but it was a good point you said that because we have a what can I say that happiness
mhm.
and welfare. You know, you have a good facility, you have a
Yes,
good car, you have a good insurance,
yes.
blah blah. So the first time when it's happened, I was a student. I was studying in my university, so it came out the news, and we were talking with my supervisor and said that it shouldn't be true. We should find out which elements they were studying. So when we try to find out, we find out they try to study about the um, how can I say that the facility or the welfare, good
Mhm.
insurance, good
Yes.
education, good salary, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
So this is not a happiness. Even when this is, you have a good money, as you mentioned that you have a good car,
Mhm.
it doesn't mean that you can be. It's not equal with a
Yeah.
happiness. You don't need to be worried about your future. You don't need to be worried about your children. You don't need to be worried about insurance. Everything is going to be supported with your tax. So when you pay
Yeah.
tax, yeah, they're going to support you. Yeah, there is some problem, but according to comparing to the different countries. But when they mention the happiest country, they are not, and they know that they need to drink alcohol to talk, and yeah. So this is a problem with that type of the
Yeah.
study.
And I don't know in Finnish, but in Sweden, I remember the number of suicides was a real big problem, like in Sweden, and they have the same good wealth and the same good financial
Yeah, yeah,
stability and conditions that like all the Scandinavian country has. So I wouldn't say I totally agree with you. I would say the happiest one. I would say the more stable one, the better to live, I guess, because
exactly.
what the kind of insurance that you have there about everybody would want it. That's what everybody is aspiring, and it's really incredible how they manage to do that from around the years. But I wouldn't say the happiest.
Yeah, yeah,
I wouldn't
yeah.
say the happiest.
Especially when we have a the Portuguese culture or Spanish culture, so it's so different. Yeah, they can have a party with the water. That doesn't matter. It's just to
Yeah,
play
yeah.
music. They will have.
You just cross someone in the street that you know, and it is already up.
Start.
everybody, everybody's already on the shenanigans.
So let me ask this question, bro. According to your experience, which country is gonna be the happiest country?
Oh, I would have to say the
You can have
happiest
three
country. You
options.
have
I mean, you can ranking
Okay.
1 to 3 is much
I
easier.
would have to say Brazil.
Uh-huh.
Brazilian people are really happy. Lots of problems, but lots of
Yeah, yeah.
happiness in the
Joyful.
people and the way they live and the way they live their culture with the samba. I would have to say Angola. Angola people are really happy too. Yeah, always in party, always, always. They're different. So if you get a Nero, that's a party right there. You can do whatever. And the third one, I would say Cabo Verde. Yeah, always in party too. Of course, this is my personal experience with the people I know and the cultures that I know better. But yeah, those are really people that are happy. And
Mm.
and it's funny to think about it because if they have way less than the countries that we were talking about, like Denmark or Finland. but they are truly happy,
Yeah,
even more, even way more than the Portuguese or the Spanish. Like they're always happy, always joking, always
they
always
they enjoy the moment.
yeah,
They enjoy the moment.
yeah, always enjoying the moment. Yeah, that's really the perfect expression. They're really living the moment. Like I have this now, I'll enjoy this
Let's
until
enjoy.
it's left, and tomorrow that's tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's interesting. It's uh, because Finland is a kind of the student country. There is a lot of student there coming, and every time there is a loud people, they say, okay, they should be Spain, the Spanish. Yeah,
It's a country that's a whole library, like
yeah. Oh,
country.
what we are talking so no, this is so loud here.
Yeah.
No, we are
I
talking so
remember
low.
when they did an international competition in Switzerland. It was like 2008, I believe. I don't remember the year. And so I remember to see a journalist saying this is going to be a problem because at here at 10 p.m. everything must shut down. People must be quiet. They will never quiet in Portugal at 10 p.m. Sometimes I'm dining at 10 p.m. I'll only start partying at 1 a.m. So no, you better change those rules now. You're gonna have problems.
Yeah, maybe after this show, I should think about that to visit this country. Okay.
Stay because the stability is good and the economic stability is good. Come here when we
Yeah,
need to party.
for
Because
a
when you
party.
come here with the money from there, we can do a big party.
Yeah. No,
That's
I will work here and I will enjoy there. That's the type.
yeah. Or for me, the perfect solution is be a digital nomad here, like with a salary from there, living here. That's the
Brilliant,
main thing that is happening in Portugal right now.
brilliant. But
Yeah,
yeah, maybe when I'm gonna be working at the MI6, maybe I can do
okay.
that.
We are now recruiting,
Good.
not hiring, recruiting.
Yeah,
Am I?
it's okay.
Different.
It's if it's gonna be, I'm gonna stay there. I'm gonna earn the money here. I am okay with that. It's okay. So, the second one, I'm gonna back to your trip. So you said that you had with your mini uh car. Yeah, it was some
Yeah, it was a
small
cinquecento Fiat. Yeah.
Fiat. So why Fiat? Let's ask this one
Well, I
first.
was I was in Italy, so it's a local automobile there. So that's
Uh,
where they
to
come
try
from,
to
right?
respect to the today culture.
Mm.
For
I think
example, if you've been
when
in Germany, you will choose the Mercedes Benz, for example.
or the BMW or the Audi, yeah, right? Or the Opel, I don't know. But we here in Portugal we have a saying that when in Rome, be Roman.
Yeah.
Um, and so in Italy, I drove a Fiat. It's only for. I would prefer a Ferrari or a Lamborghini that are also Italian, but I can't afford it, so it's going to be a Fiat.
Fiat. That's a good option. So, so you had a hold Italy with the Fiat, or can you
Not
explain?
the whole Italy. I went by plane. Um, I went to Milan, and then
Hmm.
in Milan we started doing the whole coast from like Parma, Genova, um, Cinque Terre. That I truly recommend. Cinque Terre is one of the the most beautiful sights I've ever seen in my life. Like
Hmm.
I remember when I arrived there, it's something from a postcard. Even the sea there, it's something from a postcard. I really enjoyed that trip. Like in Parma, whenever I ate the Parmigiano cheese with the prosciutto, I already told you I love Italian culture and I love Italian gastronomy. And it was really, really, really an amazing trip.
So why did you choose Italy? It was because you love it, or you have a plan to do it to different countries? Just start with Italy.
No. I already went to when I did that trip. I already went to Italy. I already went to Rome, to Napoli, to Venice, to Florence. So I like the country a lot, as you can say. And even for us in Portugal, it's nearby. It's right.
Mm.
It's like it's not too far away. but it's a lovely country not too far away. So for a quick call, about 3, 4, 5 days, it's really one perfect country. And I didn't know that part of Italy. Then I came back to Turin years later to see Benfica in the final, but I don't want to talk about it. But it was my first time in Milan. Then it was my first time in that part of Italy. So for me, I would know the whole country.
Okay.
So
How
I still like more in the Sicilian part. Maybe so, someday I will go there for sure.
mm,
Never went to Sicily.
okay. So how was Italy? The culture, the food, the weather. If I'm for someone who wants to go to Italy, can you explain it? How is the Italy? I've never been in Italy.
Italy. You've never been in
No.
Italy? You have to. You definitely have to. I would say that culturally, they are the people that are most alike. The Portuguese, even okay, we have our only neighbors that are the Spanish, but I identify better with the Italians. The Spanish are loud too, but with the Italians, so loud, and they do this, and they talk a lot with the hands. Oh, amigo, Portugal, claro. And they are also like they are total Latinos, right? They birthed it. So Italy is perfect in that sense. Like everything in Italy is perfect. Even that kind of Italy who's more northern, and some of the footage looks more like what we are used to think in Switzerland,
Hmm.
because the northern Italy, it's all the Alpine Italy, like Turin, like Milan. It's not the Italy that we see in the movies. That is always the south and the Sicilia with the landscapes and with the cereals and that. The northern Italy is more Alpine, but it's really really beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. People are welcoming. In Milan, they're a little bit arrogant because it's Milan. Like, oh, the
Mm.
mode, the fashion, everybody. So, oh, Milan. But the food is just perfect, and it's a shock for everybody because everybody has Italy restaurants they are in every place, and then you come there and they are totally different, way better,
Uh-huh.
way
The original Italy.
yeah, the original Italy. But it's really really nice the culture and the history of the country. It's a country with so many history. I really recommend it to everybody. One of my favorite countries, make probably the most favorite country to travel to.
Mhm. And I think Italy is not that much expensive. The food or a
No,
comp.
no, it's no like if you compare it with the country of Northern Europe, like where you
Yeah.
live, it's way 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 cheaper. It's way
Okay.
cheaper. It's affordable. I would say affordable. But you
Uh,
have it all. Like you have I eat like in Rome and in Milan. We have things that are very very expensive, of course.
how long does it? Have you been in the trip? So with Fiat,
It was like a week.
a week. So
Mm.
can you explain how is the situation we are going with a Fiat? What should you know? What is you gonna be prepared for that type of the trip? What was your most
It, it,
challenge?
it, we wanted the cinquecento because it was like it's not a smart, but it's a small car to go to cities, to park everywhere. We
Ah.
have very nice driving, and we just had like a small baggage.
Mhm.
Um, to navigate there is easy. It's a really small car. It doesn't have much potence. But I'm in vacation. I need to relax.
Yeah.
I don't need
I think it's
I don't need
enough
it
for
to start.
two people, maximum two or
No, no, no. Only for two people. If you have a family, you have to get another car. But
okay.
it's only for two people, and even for two people, you're like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
if
yeah.
you're big enough, if you're big enough, don't go for the cinquecento. Go for some other option. But I really dislike it as really typical because it was a cinquecento in Italy. In any other place, no, I don't want cinquecento. But there, it makes sense.
Yeah,
you know.
it's
And another funny culture thing in Italy is how many Aprilias you have, like the little scooters. Like everybody goes from little
or Vesp.
thousands and thousands of them. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm, or
They
that's
really have these.
what's the name of their motorcycle they have? It's
They have Vespa, they have
Vespa.
Aprilia.
Yeah, Vespa.
Yeah,
It's very
the
true.
Vespas, yeah, it's original from there, and that's the only thing that you have to be careful driving because they are Latin and they are crazy. The things that I talked about you with my father, it's my father plus 10. It's times 10. It's they are, and the one in the Vespas are the one I don't know how they don't die in accidents because they really are. It's Southern Europe, so everybody's crazy. Everybody's angry about something. So you go, I will go there and I have Vespas coming around in all directions. Oh my god, it's a Star Wars movie. It's like meow, meow.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
I can imagine.
Driving there, it can be exciting, endangerment, and and of course you're gonna curse a lot and swear a lot and call a lot of
But
names
you
to a lot
don't
of people.
understand.
They'll call it back. It's the Southern Europe. It's the way we do it.
Yeah, that's-
Vaffanculo su testa di carta.
yeah, you
At the
can
end
just
of the day, everybody's
yeah,
fun.
you cannot see they're gonna show the finger. Just something like this. Maybe it's gonna be something bad thing to
Yeah,
you. But for us, maybe yes, yes,
like this.
give.
The other thing is like this, like this.
Oh
Bad,
yeah,
it's a bad name. I want translated. I want translated. It's
no,
not good there.
but you did it.
And you're gonna go, yeah, of course. Your
Okay,
Italian audience is all shocked with me right
yeah,
now, but yeah,
we are so polite.
those are always the things that we learn first in every language, right? The
Yeah,
curse,
yeah, much
how to
easier and
curse.
much fun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And especially you don't need to learn a word. You just need to learn the act.
Yeah.
So it's much easier. Just okay. What was your most challenging? What's happened to you to say, okay, this is and the next time maybe I should be prepared for that one. Or you had something or not? The difficult.
In this specific trip,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
or
yeah. With your
uh,
car. I mean, if you're going with the car to Italy.
I mean, we didn't plan the trip too well, and there was this day that we didn't have where to stay, and we
Uh-huh.
arrived in Genova, and everything was booked. It was the summer, everything was booked, and we really had to go like place to place, like please give us the room.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that's when I said, okay, maybe tonight I have to be prepared. This cannot be. Let's go to Italy in the midsummer and everything will be
Oh, you
okay.
went
Oh,
at
we
the
booked out. It's
midsummer.
midsummer.
Okay, yo, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And so that's the one thing that I regret.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually we were ready to we're gonna have to sleep in the car. But we not we found a place like one like a two stars pension that still had these rooms. It's okay, it's okay. And then we just went to the internet. Let's book the rest of the trip. Just trying to be crazy. Oh, whenever because you like that freedom of let's go to we have this car.
Mm-hmm.
We will have many time to give the car back. Whenever we feel like it, we'll go, and that's good. And then this might occur. Now we like it here, and there is no place for you because we didn't plan it ahead.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
at
it's
mid
gonna.
trip we changed that, but it's okay.
Can I ask? As much as I understand, you rent a Fiat. It wasn't your
Yes.
car. So can I ask how much it costs for you to rent? And
I don't remember now.
that just
It
approximate.
was,
I just want to say, okay, what's your
it was
estimate?
2015. I don't remember, but I think it's not very expensive. I think it's like 20 euros per day,
Uh
something like
huh.
that. It's affordable.
Okay, so I'm just
Of
trying
course,
to.
the cinquecento was one of the cheapest ones.
Okay,
Like it starts there. 20
okay.
euros per day. It starts there.
So you okay? So you can rent a car is not very expensive, and but you
Yeah.
should know that where you're gonna go and where you it's better to book a place before you
Yeah,
wanna
yeah,
go.
yeah.
Especially when
Especially if it's high season, because high season everything.
it's so
I,
normal.
I, I
Yeah.
don't think that we'll understand in the winter, but in high season it will occur. We should have predicted it.
Let me ask you, what is gonna be offensive or disrespectful in Portuguese culture, or to find out? Yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything?
Something that we take very grief if Like you come here and you try to speak Spanish. Don't do that. It's very offensive. So like when you cannot tell the difference between Portugal and Spain.
I cannot do that.
Yeah, you cannot
Is
do
it
that.
so different?
Yes, it's different enough. Well, it's different enough. You should know where you are. At least I
Mm.
think it's the minimum required for respect. Like I had singers coming, oh, thank you, Madrid. No, go fuck yourself. Don't thank you, Madrid. No, no, no. Come on. You should know where you are. People are here trying to speak in Spanish. No, it's Portuguese. Don't speak Portuguese. Speak English with me. Don't speak Spanish. Don't take me for granted for Spanish because I don't know how to speak Spanish. I do know how to speak Spanish, but I feel insulted when you're trying to speak Spanish in Portugal. You don't
Okay.
know Portuguese? It's okay. Speaking English, it's like the universal language.
Okay. Good. Good. So it's good to know that sometimes there's
Yeah,
something in the culture. So
that's a trigger. That's a trigger.
just wanna briefly say that we will talk about the different uh party culture maybe. And then you had a trip with the caravan. So, but because it was so, you were so young, so maybe you couldn't have that much experience. But Fiat was so interesting for me, for you, and Italy. What
Yes,
you suggest that we should visit Italy, and also you should try that parmesans, spaghettis.
yes,
So
yes.
okay,
It's all about the pastas.
pasta, yeah, and and about that stuff.
And it's all about the cake. And the face, the Robert De Niro face. Mwah, mwah.
Well, yeah, that yeah, it's gonna be good. Okay, thank you so much, Pedro, for your time and sharing your experience with us.
I thank
And
you
it
the
was
invitation. It was really a
thank you.
privilege for me to be here.
And for the last question, if someone wants to contact with MI6, can you can you say that how we can find you? Because you are a sponsor for this specific show, so how we can find it? Or
Well, you can find us in the internet, www.mi6.pt.
that PT, it's very
Um,
important. Don't
yes, it's .pt. It's very important. Don't confund us with the one from the UK. They are the fake ones. You
And
can find us
can you explain again what kind of the services you have?
we have like every kind of. We do design, we do branding, we do strategy for brands, we do marketing analysis, we do social media campaigns, we do social media programming. We have video, we have photography, like you name it, we have it. We do in Portugal and in Europe, we do PR,
Mhm.
also media relations. So we do pretty much everything that a marketing agency can do. I think there is nothing that a marketing agency does that we do not do.
Okay. Thank you so much. So if someone wants to contact with MI6, they can find you and they can use the services. Thank you everyone to watching us, and I will be so happy if you like this show, you just subscribe, and if you have the same experience about trip or journey around the world, you can contact us. We will be invite you to the show. And again, thank you so much, Pedro. And sorry about that technical problems it happened to, and this
It's
is
okay,
so
it
sad.
happens.
Yeah. I hope you enjoy your day, and if you had another trip, probably we can see each other again and talk about that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you
Thank
for
you
the
so much.
invitation. Thank you for having me. Thank you for the good conversation. Okay.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
and have a nice day.
You
Goodbye.
too.
Bye.
I really enjoyed. Bye.